concern is the lack of measurable success, in particular the mathematics. In this particular situation, the Alliance Gertz Wrestler Academy complex has a 70% in mathematics not met or nearly met. That means 30% met or exceeded. That has been a pattern in many of the schools. I'm just starting with this one because it's the first one. And as Mr. Melvoin said, we're not happy. So when we're not happy and not satisfied up here, what does that mean to the community and the school? Does that mean you can live with our unhappiness? You can live with our disappointment? Because what do we do after we're disappointed? We have rarely discontinued or failed to approve of a school because of underachievement by students. We have traditionally failed to approve of charters where there is some absence of continuity in the management of the school, the financing of the school, or some other things that make them culpable with regard to operational parts of the school. And every one of the schools that has an underachieving record seems to be able to present students to speak to tell us how happy they are with their school. But in this particular case, 70% of the students do not meet in mathematics. I guess we can consider it celebratory in language arts when 53% met, but 47% did not. That's still a whole lot of underachievement. And I am the first one to acknowledge that similar data is presented by the non-charter schools, the regular, quote, regular public schools. And until we, as a board, have the resource capacity to fully resource the schools with what they need, we'll continue to be disappointed. Does that mean that people are not working hard? No. Does it mean children are not trying? Maybe not. I don't know. I do know that our employees come to work every day pretty much, and they do what they can. But if our outcomes, and I'll get off this one, because I can be general about all of them, actually, and maybe I'll do it that way, the ones that I was concerned about and others that are on our list here, we will continue to accept underachievement as the norm, And there's a difference between underachievement on these standardized tests, which some would say, what's the use of the standardized test? Well, what's the use of a teacher's grade in the classroom that allows a student to have an exceptionally passing grade, like an A, a 3.8 GPA, and when they take the admissions exam to get to the university, which is they're trying to get to, they wind up in remedial math and language arts, those two skill sets. So unless we're admitting that we are not teaching the skills, not the subject matter, but the skills of reading, writing, and mathematics, we're not really successful, even though we're saying, go forward and try again. And we say 5 more years. Well, they've been there for 5 years, some been more than that. And that's the best we're getting out of them. That's a disappointment to me, and I want to say that. But I believe that the consent will be passed, and enough people will talk about it and passing it, because there is support for that. And I didn't want you to sit here and have to justify yourselves and have all the speakers come up and talk about how wonderful the school is. And I know you love your school. I know the students love their school. And I'm disappointed. And I want to express that beyond just saying, is that it? You're disappointed? And so what? You're just one vote. But I was elected to represent you and to support you and provide resources for you. And we give you what we can. And we're facing fiscal challenges right now, as we do every year. So I'll leave it at that, but that is my disappointment with this particular one. And let me just, I'll just finish them all right now. I'll go through, because I had number 6, number 3, and let me go to number 6, if I may, and I'll just finish it. Rather than
Okay.
you keep calling my name and I keep pontificating. Number 6 is Animal Mae Jemison Charter Middle School. 73% did not meet in math. 83, I'm sorry, in language arts, 73% not met or nearly met in math, in English, and in math, 83% did not meet. That means 17% met. A whole lot more of the school is not meeting, but we're saying, are you doing well? Are you getting congratulations for effort? I need to say that to you because you're here in numbers, some of you representing different schools. But that's your data. Those are your data points. And I'm not sure if the students know what the data points are for all of the students in the school. And how do you feel about that? I'm not here to embarrass you. I'm just here to inform you, because that's the data. The next one is number 8, Animo South Los Angeles Charter School. In language arts, 53% met. 47% didn't. In math, 95% did not meet. 95%. 5% met or exceeded. The next one is number 10. I requested comment on. That is.
I also have 8, sir.
Yes, 8. I'm sorry. I missed that. I see it. In number 8, Animo Venice Charter High School.
Number 8 is South LA.
I'm sorry, wrong one. I'm looking at number 9. South LA, right. Charter, Animo South, Los Angeles Charter. In language arts, 53% met. I think I already said that one, didn't I? Number 8. And 95% did not meet. Yeah, I did that. Then I had number 9, I think.
No, I see number 10.
Number 10, okay, I'm sorry.
Bert Corona. It's
Yeah,
okay.
thank you. Number 10, Bert Corona Charter School. In language arts, 72% did not meet, 28% did. In math, 83% did not, 26% did. Number 11, Camino Nuevo Charter High School. In language arts, 43% did not meet, 57% did. They did have more that did than didn't. In math, 89% did not meet. 89% of the student body did not meet the standards in mathematics. And then finally, number 16, no, I don't want to comment on that one right now. I don't want to comment on that one. And I think all of us up here have the same concerns. I'm the one doing the talking, and I'm talking for myself right now. And we get letters of support. I have many letters here from political elected officials. And I'm not going to call their names, but I can tell you that of the letters that I have, I think I have maybe 20 letters here. 16 of them are identical. So somebody wrote these letters, and these politically elected officials put their letterhead on it and sent it to me, because they don't know all the other people that are sending them as well. And they're supporting specific schools. I won't even call the name of those schools, but I'll be talking about it after this meeting is over with some people. So they send me a form letter like they know what's going on in the school. I don't think they even know the data, but they're telling me how wonderful the school is, because they've been persuaded that they should do this with their elected official honorable status. We'll call it honorable up here. And I accept that responsibility of being called honorable. So I tried to make that an honorable decision that we make as elected officials. But none of these are coming from educational people. They're coming from political people at the state and local levels who have been elected to serve in other areas. And some are not all elected officials. So we gather together, beloved, as we gather together at the fireside, and we gather together to sing the praises of what? Underachievement. As though that's acceptable for a certain community that look like my people. And if you believe that yourself, then you're not going any further than what they give you, what we give you. Who's they? I'm the they now. I used to talk about they. I am the they. I got elected here. And it frustrates the, I won't say, I don't want to use language. It frustrates
Good
something
choice.
out of me, yes, that I cannot help you any better than I am, because I'm not your principal. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your parent. I am your board member, and I have to make decisions about whether we approve you or not. And we say, go forth now for 5 more years and come back with what? So I'm going to ask a question from the charter school folks, and Mr. Gold-Gutierrez is here. What kind of benchmarks that we review on an annual basis can the Charter School Division enact to hold our petitioners accountable to use these unencumbered dollars to invest in the academic success of our students? So I don't think more and more 5-year renewals with dismal academic performance should allow you to retain the autonomy. So I need to know, and I've asked this question before, and I'll continue to ask it. I know, and if I'm a pain, I'll remain a pain. I don't know if any analgesic balm will solve me or get rid of me. I'm not going anywhere. But I am going to be an advocate for success as measured by student achievement, not necessarily by the effort that is put in. So I think that I need to know and tell us what I think I already know, but I want it to be public. What do we do from your division to assist the schools and to hold us all accountable for the outcomes on an annual basis when these outcomes are so low right now?
Good afternoon, Dr. McKenna, Madam Board President, and board members and Superintendent. Your question is a fair question, and we grapple with that. First, I would like to state for the record that all of the items were reviewed in terms of our consistent process for the renewal criteria, and these schools, even with the some of the lower performance that you noted, have benchmarks because of that academic benchmarks, but have met the renewal criteria. To your question about the dollars invested and what can the board do to, for example, set a benchmark around certain allocation of dollars. Well, bearing in mind the schools have autonomy, they have an LCAP process that their own boards approve, which we also review and ask similar questions. The board did, I believe last year, request a plan from a charter school that indicated we're concerned about the gap, achievement gap with these students. For these students, you have dollars in your account. Please give us a plan of how you can make some investments to address that. So the board has taken that approach in one case that I can recall, and then we shared that information with the board in its role as an authorizer. So the short answer is the board could also, again, bearing in mind the autonomy and the approved LCAP that the charter schools boards have already presented, could ask for a plan that indicates, which we have already received a plan for schools into the material for many of the cases, could also say I'd like to see more investments, and then the school can respond accordingly.
Thank you.